council on the brink of bankruptcy, surely you should be wanting to minimise any big spend on projects that are clearly not viable or necessary. Everyone around can see this. 5,800 layman residents signed a petition. There's been 1,700 letters. So lots of people can see it. I can see it. So can you. Thank you.
No? Okay, thank you, Councillor Clark.
Thank you.
So we now move on to the adjacent those parties for the confusion before. So we have Councillor Beanland and Councillor Stewart, so you have 2.5 minutes each. I don't know who's going to go first. Okay, Councillor Beanland, 2.5 minutes. Simon will start when you start speaking and there may be questions afterwards.
Thank you, Chair. Members of the committee, I come as a member of Poynton Town Council to address the issue of trees on the environment. The plan application flood risk assessment refers to the Reservoirs Act 1975. This Act, including clauses modified by the Flood and Water Management Act 2010, makes no mention of grass or trees or indeed any other physical condition of a dam. It puts the onus for safety on a qualified engineer, a qualified civil engineer, this is the inspecting engineer, to identify any aspects that could put the dam or reservoir at risk. The inspecting engineer must then issue a report in which matters in the interest of safety are stated, which the undertaker, those responsible for the safety of the reservoir, is then legally required to carry out. The publication by the Institute of Civil Engineers being referred to is Flood and Reservoir Safety 4th edition. Please note, this is not a legal document, it simply gives guidance to reservoir engineers. Trees on the downstream face of the dam can cause changes in the flow pattern if the dam overtops, causing disturbance and erosion. But that is simply a reminder to reservoir engineers to consider the potential effects. It certainly does not say that trees must be removed or that the only growth accepted is grass. The Friends of Poynton Pool engineer, during his 30 years as a supervising engineer, was appointed to a number of examples similar to this application, all of which were subject to subsequent inspecting engineers' reports, at least once every 10 years. In our particular case, inspectors differed inspection to inspection, and a number of engineers have obviously seen these trees, but not one of them felt that they posed a significant risk to the dam's safety. For example, with reference to the 2016 inspection engineers report, I quote, "A further potential problem is the pressure of many mature trees that exist on the dam. Given that it is a small dam and that the trees have existed for many years, it is acceptable, provided that the trees are managed in a proper manner." In the 2005 report,
10 seconds left.
I quote, "The extensive tree roots are protecting the bank and the only point of erosion is where the trees are absent. These comments highlight a very relevant issue. Cheshire East tree management is long overdue, especially on Poynton Pool. I urge the committee to vote for deferment of this application until extensive work is done to properly research all of the issues brought to you today."
Previous reports that you refer to, I think you said 2005 and 2015. Are you saying there that they looked at the trees and they deemed them not of considered risk to the project?
Correct. They identified it as a potential problem. The quote is, "A further potential problem is the pressure of many mature trees that exist on the dam. Given that it is a small dam, the trees have existed for many years, it is acceptable." So it's not a material issue. That was the 2016 one. And the 2005 one is that extensive tree roots are protecting the bank, and the only point of erosion is where the trees are absent. Taking the trees away is obviously different.
Okay, Councillor Edwards.
we saying that the actual protective works to improve the dam's ability, if you like, to withstand overspillage, do not need the trees removed? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Does that seem to be the implication? In other words, you could put, if I may, you could put in the arrangements that we've heard the officers present from the report. And the trees themselves could actually stay because the threat of them sort of blocking water flow and transferring it perhaps to more dangerous areas, that is not needed because the trees themselves are not a threat at the time of an overspillage. Is that what the implication is of what you're saying? Because I'm not sure. I mean, we know that tree roots support the dam and all the rest of it. I thought, to be honest, I thought the trees were being removed in order to improve the flow of water in particular directions.
I think you answered your question, Ken. If you could turn this into my call.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Want to answer?
There are alternatives to the one that's currently on offer. I think that's the main point. Not all of the trees have to be removed. The thing we've got to remember is this is an amenity site that's valued by the Poynton village, and it's part of a natural flow it's a natural corridor that leads up into higher Poynton. There's a lot of wild animals in this area, but the trees are part of that and help cultivate that skill region. There are alternatives, which is the systems engineer, the inspection engineer that we've employed, will give you a better idea, but there's no reason why the trees should be removed. It's not necessarily a requirement. There is an alternative proposal that would be simply put a bigger pipe in. The proposal that's on the table at the moment will increase the height of water, which is going to be a bigger threat. In your report, there are a number of years when flood has been recorded in this area, and the bank has never overtopped. In fact, on your inspection walk, you would have seen a terrace which is at level water level. And in the past 43 years, which is by anecdotal evidence, that level has never overtopped. The water is not an issue in this application. It's controlled as it currently is, and that's with the trees there. What we have got is a lack of maintenance of trees by Cheshire East. There needs to be some work, and there needs to be some spillway works, but the trees certainly need looking at. But it's not necessary to remove them, because they are part of the dam structure, and it has worked for 250 years.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Spillway, do you have a question?
Thank you, Chair. Could you clarify something you said in the earlier part of your piece about the reservoir in 1975 and then the 2010 changes? Make that clear to me what that actually did.
Okay, it's just the planning application flood risk that you've got. Refers to the Reservoir Act from 1975, and I'm just making the point that although 1975 is a long while ago, it has been modified, that particular act has been modified by the Flood and Water Management Act of 2010 and subsequently. So it's not, just because it's old doesn't mean it isn't relevant, but the point is it makes no mention of grass or trees or indeed any other physical condition of the dam. Lots of dams are created throughout the country, and they're made of different construction materials. I'm not a qualified engineer, you have to ask our engineer. But the engineer that's inspecting the particular dams brings his own conclusion to the current structure.
Okay, Councillor Brooks.
Thank you. You're asking the committee to refer the application and to look at alternatives, but wouldn't the alternatives require a new planning application to be so different? And so in terms of that, I'm just wondering why you're not asking us to reject the application. Thank you.
The considered opinion is some work needs to be done. There's nobody objecting to that, but there are discrepancies in the report that's been given, and the amount of water in the dam, the amount of flow through the dam, the amount of damage that can come through it. This statistical report needs